So children, we are moving to isotopes of hydrogen, right? There are three, before going to isotopes of hydrogen, you know the definition for isotopes. What are isotopes? Isotopes of compounds having same atomic number, correct? Same atomic number but different mass number, correct? So isotopes are compounds having same atomic number but different mass number. So coming to hydrogen, there are three isotopes of hydrogen. So what are they? Now this is protium and this is deuterium and this is tritium. What is this? This is tritium. So moving to hydrogen, there are three isotopes of hydrogen. What are the three isotopes of hydrogen? First is protium, because look into the atomic number and mass number, both are 1 1, right? And moving to the second compound, your atomic number is same because all the three isotopes have their atomic number 1. Look into the mass number, it is different. For protium it is 1, for deuterium it is 2, for tritium it is 3. So these are the three isotopes of hydrogen. Now I told you the three isotopes are named as protium, then deuterium, then tritium, correct? As per their number of mass number, see it is 3, so it is tritium, 2 deuterium, 1 protium. So this deuterium is also called as heavy hydrogen. So what is the other name for deuterium, children? It is heavy hydrogen. Done. Now when you look into the third radioactive isotope tritium, tritium's special property is it is radioactive. So tritium is radioactive. Deuterium is otherwise called as heavy hydrogen. Tritium's other name, it is radioactive. So it emits low energy beta particles. So these are the properties of these three compounds. The three isotopes will be protium, deuterium, tritium. This is heavy hydrogen. Deuterium is otherwise called as heavy hydrogen and tritium is radioactive. It emits low energy beta particles. Now moving to the uses of hydrogen. Moving to the uses of hydrogen, only your preparation and properties is not included for final exam, but uses is definitely included for final exam. So what are the uses of hydrogen? Before moving to the uses of hydrogen, we all have heard about MUFA and PUFA. Where we have heard about this MUFA and PUFA, mono unsaturated fatty acid and polyunsaturated fatty acids. Okay, these are present in the vegetable oils. Now see, whenever I refer to the term polyunsaturated, right, this unsaturation refers to the presence of double bond. Okay, whenever I refer to the term unsaturated means I am referring double bond. Now consider a condition where there are lot number of vegetable oils in the market, right? So the vegetable oils will be containing large number of double bonds. Means what I am telling, they contain unsaturated fatty acid. So what they contain? They contain unsaturated fatty acid. I have told you whenever I refer to the term unsaturated, then I am referring the presence of double bond. So vegetable oils are containing large number of double bonds. So what happens? These double bonds undergo oxidation. Okay, they undergo oxidation. If they undergo oxidation, then the taste of the oil is unpleasant and it becomes rancid. Okay, what happens to the taste of the oil where your double bond has become oxidized? There the taste becomes unpleasant and the oil will be rancid, right? So we need to avoid this. Okay, I don't want this to happen because vegetable oil contain unsaturated fatty acid Unsaturated fatty acid means there is a presence of double bonds. These double bonds undergo oxidation. As a result, the oil will become rancid and the taste will be unpleasant. So, in order to avoid this, hydrogen is used. So, what is the role of my hydrogen here? My hydrogen reduces the number of double bonds. Okay, it reduces the number of double bonds, but it will not remove them completely. It reduces double bonds but will not eliminate them completely. So under controlled conditions, okay, under controlled conditions, my hydrogen will reduce the double bonds in edible oil. So what is the technical term for that? It is called as hydrogenation of vegetable oils. This is your first use of hydrogen. So what is this entire process technically called as? This is called as hydrogenation of vegetable oils, especially your soybean oil, cottonseed oil, or your corn oil. Okay, there I can use nickel as catalyst, and my addition of hydrogen is called as hydrogenation. What it does? My added hydrogen will reduces the number of double bonds but will not eliminate them completely. In this way, oxidation of vegetable oils will be prevented. As a result, I am just increasing the shelf life of this vegetable oil. Okay, so I am just repeating the first use of hydrogen. My hydrogenation of vegetable oil is a procedure by which addition of hydrogen reduces the number of double bonds but will not eliminate them completely. So if double bonds are less in number, they will not be undergoing oxidation. As a result, the taste of vegetable oil can be restored. So this is the first use of hydrogen. Now, moving to the second use of hydrogen, my hydrogen is used to prepare methanol. So, it is used to prepare methanol. What is the formula for methanol? CH3CH2OH, right? This is the formula for methanol. How to, this is ethanol, CH, methane, ethane, right? So, my formula for methanol will be CH3OH, methanol. See, my dihydrogen along with carbon monoxide in the presence of cobalt as a catalyst will produce methanol. Children, I think you are aware of this reaction. In the preparation of hydrogen, I told you methane along with the steam results in the production of carbon monoxide and hydrogen. Yes, you remember this? So methane along with the steam, methane and steam reacts resulting in the production of carbon monoxide and dihydrogen. Now the same products, that is carbon monoxide and hydrogen, in the presence of cobalt as a catalyst result in the production of methanol. Okay, this is the second use of my hydrogen. Now what is the third use of hydrogen? It is used to produce hydrochloric acid, right? How? See, my dihydrogen along with chlorine in the presence of sunlight, I'll be getting hydrochloric acid. So it is used to prepare hydrochloric acid. What is the reaction? Dihydrogen along with chlorine in the presence of sunlight, I'll be getting hydrochloric acid. This is the third use. What is the fourth use? It is used as a reducing agent, which we have discussed already. How it acts as a reducing agent? See, I have copper oxide. Copper oxide will be reduced by my hydrogen. If copper oxide is reduced, what is the product, children? My hydrogen is acting like a reducing agent. So copper oxide is reduced to free copper. So this O will be reacting with hydrogen. As a result, I will be getting water molecule. So this is how my hydrogen is acting like a reducing agent. Then it is used as a rocket fuel. My hydrogen can be used as a rocket fuel. For this, liquid hydrogen is used as a rocket fuel along with oxygen. And what is its role? It will be used as an oxidizer. Okay. So, liquid hydrogen is used as a rocket fuel along with oxygen as an oxidizer. Next, atomic hydrogen and oxyhydrogen torch will be used for welding purposes because of very high temperature. So, it is used for welding purposes since that can be operated at very high temperature. So, these are the 6 uses of hydrogen. What is the first use? Hydrogenation of vegetable oil. When you add hydrogen, they reduce the number of double bonds. As a result, oxidation will not happen. You can improve the shelf life of vegetable oils. My second use is used to produce methanol. My dihydrogen should react with carbon monoxide in the presence of cobalt. Okay, carbon monoxide and hydrogen in the presence of cobalt, you will be getting methanol. Now, hydrogen is used as a reducing agent, that is copper oxide plus hydrogen. Copper oxide will be reduced to free copper, so water will be liberated. Now, liquid hydrogen along with oxygen will be used as a rocket fuel, as an oxidizer. And your oxyhydrogen torch will be used for welding purposes because of very high temperature. Okay, done. Now, moving to the hydrides. Okay, and which topic we are moving next? We have seen preparation, we have seen properties, we have seen uses. The next topic will be hydrides. What is the next topic, children? We are moving to hydrides. I have already discussed about hydride. Okay. Now, what is hydride? A compound of hydrogen with other elements is called as hydride. Okay. Compound of hydrogen along with other elements. Correct? No? Sodium hydride, potassium hydride. Right? So, this is an example for hydride. Compound of hydrogen along with other element is called as hydrides. Hydrides are classified into 3 categories. Okay, hydrides are classified into 3 categories. They are saline hydrides or ionic hydrides. So, what is the first classification? Saline hydrides or ionic hydrides. Second one is metallic hydrides or interstitial hydrides. Okay, metallic hydrides or interstitial hydrides. Done. The third classification will be molecular hydrides or covalent hydrides. Now, kindly bear with my handwriting, children. So, what are the 3 classification of hydrides? Saline hydrides or ionic hydrides, metallic hydrides or interstitial hydrides, molecular hydrides or covalent hydrides. So, we are going to look into each one by one. Yes, children.